Welcome back to the channel, guys. This is your host, French Gamer Abroad, and today I'm going to bring you the interview of the first player to solo the heroic HAAT Red. So first of all, so I'm here with. So do you have a nickname we could go with?
So the FN 55378008 is actually calculator term. You turn it upside down and it spells Boobless.
Got it.
So a lot of people just call me Boob.
Okay, so we'll just go with Boob right now. And so yeah, first of all, congratulations on your achievement. That's an amazing achievement. To have done an entire heroic AAT by yourself. It's also very good. It means also that you have a guild. That's also very helpful with you to have nobody else doing a score. Also to be able to feature that amazing screenshot that you share on Reddit and everything. So first of all, how did you think of that challenge?
Well, it was absolutely difficult. It's not something that's just you can easily walk into. You definitely have to plan everything out. You really have to test each phase, see what you can do. And there's a lot of mod switching. Really putting in your best mods to get your teams, especially mine in phase two, to get further and further. So that you can have some of those phases go down kind of easy. It's a lot easier to start with the hard stuff and then kind of finish with your easy stuff.
Okay. So what was the hardest part? So P2 and P3, I assume.
Yeah, phase two definitely was a challenge just because there's so many teams, so there's so many dynamics, a lot of reset on the cooldowns, and you basically go into each battle with the firestorm. So then you bring in kind of a kill squad to reset the tank.
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, then all of a sudden you're out one or two turns just because the tank all of a sudden starts going, or you top cannon to blow someone away. So there's a strategy there to kind of go in and reset everything.
Okay. And how did you do? I mean, how for mode management particularly? How did you get out? Because unless you have like a library of 1,000 god modes and everything, you must have done like a lot of mod management of swapping tons of mod all together between all your teams.
Absolutely, and it's there's definitely like certain mods that go really great with each team, or like for example, if you're doing the Xylo in phase one, it's great to have critical chance, have potency type mods, critical damage, because that helps to speed everything up. In phase two, you're talking with your droids, you definitely want to be able to hit critical shots every time, so you're bumping up your turn meter.
Yeah.
So. And then even with your resistance, you definitely need to focus on potency because that's what keeps that team going. So just having, definitely a large collection of mods and know how to use them, know how to sort through them. And, at this time I've been swapping mods quite a bit that I know where my best mods are. I know where I put them. A lot of people call them arena mods, but it's just the process of, switching them and then switching them back. I would take screenshots of my favorite mods on my favorite tunes so that I never lose them. I never get to a point where I can't remember how I modded somebody.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
that's a good idea.
Right there.
And I think that's one of the things. I mean, many players talked about the mod management and how it can be definitely greatly improved very easily. Just for instance, having like a button that remembers a set of modes per character, and then just calling those modes by just the push of a button would be amazing to have.
Oh yeah, like a preset type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, they do that. They do that for the squad. So I mean, I'm assuming it's pretty easy for them to do it for modes. It's just the willingness to do it, I guess. But also,
that'd be amazing.
Also, the fact that one of the questions that I had. So, what did you find the most challenging besides the team in P2? I mean, you had all your. So, did you strategize on paper first and then went at it, or how did you do?
Yeah. So I didn't. I knew I wasn't going to have a problem with phase one or four, just because I know that my clones and rebels can take care of phase four with a ton of overlap if needed.
Okay.
Phase three was the solo with the
Thrawn. Yeah.
and that one's more. But phase 2 was definitely writing down on paper. I actually put in calculations as to what I wanted each team to get, an exact percentage.
The goal, yeah.
Yeah, and I based everything off of that, and it wasn't. I mean, I think I threw, what was it, like 10 teams at phase 2,
Okay.
and I had down to the second decimal place what the damage percentage should be, and I tracked it along the way. And once I got down to some of my lower squads, even exceeding the percentage, it was a huge win. So I knew I ended up using less teams than I thought. But yeah, it's definitely a process where you want to manage how much damage you can get per team, and then keeping up with that.
Got it. Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, and I'm thinking of we still have some guild. I mean, some mid player like around the 50, 60 that are trying to get and gear towards a heroic raid. For most of us end players, it's kind of a normal thing now to clear the heroic tank. But what would be your most the biggest advice that you have for a guild that is trying to tackling the heroic tank right now?
Absolutely. So one of the things I would suggest is, for the free-to-play player, definitely phase 2 droids are a great way to go.
You did 3 millions, right?
If you do have an opportunity to get a Zeta, start going after either that clone team, because that only requires 1 Zeta, or even the resistance team that requires that 1 Zeta. But we're talking about major damage between those two teams. And if you're not a fan of the light side characters, go with the Zeta and Darth Sidious Zeta and attack it. We've seen some very big scores with that team as well. And if you want to go crazy, you can start throwing in some of those Jedi teams. They were getting with very good mods, probably higher than average mods, but you can still score over 1 million in phase 2 with a pretty good Jedi team.
That's a good score. How much did you do with your droids?
My droids finished just shy of 4 million.
Wow, that's amazing.
Phase 2.
That's amazing. And those are droids fully geared until gear 11 plus?
Yes, okay. They're completely maxed out.
Okay.
I also have an alt account that runs droids in phase 2, and they are gear 10 and 11, and they can score right about 1 million points.
Yeah, this still remains true. Huh? I know that was the key point for my guild specifically, when we had some trouble to take down the heroic tank, was to everybody to gear 11 at least 3 droids that are HK, IG88, and 86, and that helps tremendously.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and the resistance as well. I mean, we'll see. And for all the players, the resistance, since we're going to have the new film coming up as well, there's going to be probably some synergy with the resistance team, with First Order as well. So, I mean, this is still true until the end of the year at least. Resistance is a very good team to go with. So, that's a big goal for you to achieve. So, do you have anything next? What do you think of doing next then?
Yeah, so we have a couple ideas floating around, trying to optimize a couple teams here and there. More specifically, looking at a team today in phase 2. I was asked not to release it quite yet, the actual team, so stay tuned for that.
Sounds good.
But there's a few options. We feel like we've conquered, phase 3 and 4. We're looking at, can we pass that 10 million mark on phase 2 on a regular basis?
Yeah.
And right now, I think the record is close to 10 million with resistance.
Got it.
But we're looking at pushing that even further. We're looking at some options, and we're going to start testing, and that information will be released very shortly. On top of that, I think the next big push will be looking at how to make phase 3 Thrawn faster. At that point, it's just optimizing mods, maybe even add in an Omega here or there, and getting the speeds down to where you can just hit auto and it goes through.
Yeah.
Right now, that's not the case.
How long did it take you to do phase 3 with Thrawn?
A couple hours.
How long did it take you to do phase 3 with
So then,
Throne?
yeah. Then after that, phase one, we're, as some of the as some of the tunes, level up to 7-star, like Gar.
Yeah.
We've seen some big scores with him using that Kenobi lead
Yes.
team. Usually people were looking at 20-25%, but now we're looking at maybe even doing 40 up to 50% that
Wow.
team phase one.
Okay. Oh, that's good. That's exciting, man. Yeah, I mean that phase two, having some huge score in phase two is what's lacking right now. Everybody is doing 10 million, where the other phases are going down very much quickly. So, and what's the name of your guild?
I'm part of the Mighty Chlorians.
Oh yeah, that's true. I mean, so big shout out to you and to your guild. Huh? It's an amazing amazing achievement for the game, and I'm sure it caught the eye of the developers for sure. Well, thanks again, Boob, and shout out. I'm gonna give you a shout out to your channel. Big shout out to your guild, the Mighty Chlorians, and we'll see you around with more news about another potential team with more damage, I guess, on P2.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Perfect. Thanks.
Hasta la vista, baby.